Jensen, he just peed on the deck. I guess because it's soaking wet. Hear that? We have had rain. I know, don't look. I threw that chlorinating liquid, whatever it's called. I put some of that in the pool. We've had so much rain, and I'm worried about, I don't want the pool to get green. Although it's pretty. I did a whirlpool a couple days ago and got the stuff to go to the middle, but then the rain came. Rain just is starting again. I was going to do a little short video. Look at them. I'm not going to feed them right now in the rain. They may just go shelter. You know, goats don't like to be wet. Throw some cucumbers. I mean, some squash to the, yeah, they're just going to the, look at them running. They're going up to the pavilion, get out of the rain. And she's going to stand in the rain like a silly, I was going to call her an idiot, but I don't want to call her an idiot. She's just a baby. She's just a baby. Molly, get out of the rain. Come on. Maybe she'll go in. So I'm not going to stand here. But a little bit under this tree is not so bad. Molly, go in your stall. Oh, she's got to use the bathroom. I know cows don't mind water, but I hate to see her standing in it. Let me see if I can't talk her into coming in. Maybe I can give her some feed, make her go in to eat it. I haven't done anything out here because it has been rainy for days. I mean, I'm trying to think, even over the weekend. Today is Wednesday, and even over the weekend, we had random rain. Just, you know, a little bit all night long or during the night, so then the mornings were nasty and wet out here. I mean, it's just been raining so much lately. And I'm going to take her some feed and make her come inside the stall. And Monday, we went to the nursing home, and I did go to Tractor Supply when we left and grabbed a couple of bags of feed, but forgot to get shavings, the pine shavings that I use in her stall. So I hate that because, I mean, I muck her stall every day. I get the poop out, and then I flip, you know, I flip the shavings around and, you know, try to get it where it's like fresh and can get fresh and dry out. But if she's peed on it, or even if a little bit of rain is blown in. But it's gotten to the point now that I've mucked so much, there's not a whole lot of shavings left. I'm not going to take my phone back out there. Oh, look, this is where I fed the cats this morning. It's the only dry part. I mean, it's dry over there, but it's all the slats. I know, don't look, I got to throw the trash. I haven't done anything, guys, I'm telling y'all. The cats have just knocked everything down over there. It looks like a hurricane hit it, but that's cats jumping and I've got those two tomcats are just, it's getting bad where now they're trying to jump on my fixed. All my girl cats are fixed, and they're jumping on them at night. You can hear them doing that. Like that cry mess at night, and you have to go out and scream to make them run away because they're trying. And then I'll hear screeching, and when I open the door, they're messing with one of them. I mean, it's Emma, or it's any of my girl cats that are all fixed, and those cats are trying to mess with them, and they're fighting back. I hate it. Anyway, I haven't done anything. It's just been so nasty. I picked in the garden a couple of days ago, right before the rain came. It's just been off and on random nastiness. I'm gonna stop this real quick and run over there and throw her this feed. Although it looks like she already ran up into the stall, but I'm gonna give her this and come back and finish my video. Give me 1 second. Whew. I had told Levi, I was putting on my boots, and he goes, "You're going outside?" And I said, yeah, well, it's not raining. I said, I think the rain's over. I've been watching my radar on, because I had downloaded the app, the Fox 26. It's our local Fox News. And I have on my phone the weather app. It's slowing down. Anyway, I said, I don't think we're supposed to get any more. I've been watching the radar. I hadn't been looking so much at hour to hour. I had just been going to the radar and watching it, you know, green, orange, red, like horrible rain, and then it getting to nothing. And I said, I think it's over. I said, I don't think which was the last time I looked was this morning. So I guess maybe this one probably is on the radar, and I didn't even look at it before I come out. I wanted to walk out by the pond, see how much water was coming out of the pond going down that little creek. I know I went up to Mom's a few minutes ago and ate a biscuit. She had made biscuits and called me and wanted me to come up and try one. And the little pond over there by Mom and Dad's driveway where the ducks are at sometimes, that was full. But we've got rain. I told Mom when I was down there earlier, I said, when you look at the day-to-day, which it only goes, I think it's 10 days. I think my Fox is 10 days. I may be wrong, but I think it's 10 days. And every day between, well, once yesterday was over, you don't get to see yesterday no more. But between now and next Thursday is rain. There's a chance of rain every day. Maybe not big chances, but we might get some. I told Mom earlier, I said, well, I love the fact that God's given us all this rain, but I wish He would hold it back some and give it to us in the summer when we need it. Whew, it is what it is. He's got a plan. He always has a plan. Anyway, all my chickens went in. They were on the coop. In the video when I first started and I threw those squash pieces in, you seen them all mingling around out there. But right now, every one of them are inside that coop. I see one buff just come out. Also, on the other side of the fence is one young one. I may have said in a video, but I don't know if I did or not, that Bree was going to come help me roll out another strand of wire up high to keep the, I wasn't thinking about the little ones. I was thinking about there was 2 or 3 older ones that I have that were jumping. They were getting to the top of the roost that's on, you know, they don't like to roost on the inside. I don't know if that's because all those little ones are in there right now or what. And my grown ones roost outside. You know, they were roosting on the fence post, on the fence rail. Now that all of them have been, and I didn't get that on video, I'm sorry guys, but now that they've all been, their one wing has been clipped, they're all staying inside the chicken yard, which I'm really happy with. That I'm able to gather all my eggs in the chicken yard. I'm not having to travel and look for eggs. But I had 2 that were flying out. They were getting on that top roost and then jumping over because there's not much, probably a foot or less of wire from where the roost is to the top of the wire or the fence. So I was going to go ahead and put that some more up high on the high part, you know, like it would be up here on, you know, and that way when they get to the top of the roof, they would see wire there and they'd know they can't jump over. But now I've got a young one that's probably done the same thing. She's flown over. Anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, we have had the rain. It has just been, it's every day. And it gets to the point where you're just miserable because you're stuck in the house and you can't go outside and you want to do things and it's just nasty. When Mom called me earlier and she said, are you taking a nap? I said, Mom, it's 12 o'clock. Why would I be taking a nap at 12 o'clock in the middle of the day? And she said, because it's raining out. And she says, I figured you sat down on the couch, started a cold case. I'm into cold cases. And she said, I figured you were dozing off. And I said, no, I'm not. I'm up. I'm cleaning straightening the house, straightening the kitchen after breakfast. I want to work in my, I'm thinking, well, it's wet right now. I might as well do some stuff in the house that I've been putting off. So I was going to work in my dressing room, you know, the room that I turned into a big walk-in closet. I want to work in there. I took a load of clothes in there one day. I'm going to do this. I took a load of clothes in there in a basket out of the dryer. It's been sitting in that room almost 2 weeks. I've yet to pull anything out of it to put in a drawer or to wear, something I'm looking for. And I'm thinking, if I can put clothes, now all this stuff in the if I have clothes in a basket, it's play clothes. And I do my towels and dish rags and stuff like that different. So they're not in with clothes. These are all just clothes. I'm thinking to myself, if I've had a basket of clothes in that room for 2 weeks that I have yet to go through and fold and put up or even look for something that I wanted to wear, then I don't need them. Most of it will be Levi stuff because something loud is going up Lester's driveway. Oh, with his tractor. Oh, he must have went somewhere with his tractor. Oh, I think they've been putting the fences back up after the trailer house people did all their work. Anyway, I'm thinking that if Levi or me, if we haven't needed any of those clothes and there's no need for me to keep them clothes, I am going to go through them and put a bunch of stuff to go to Goodwill. I mean, whatever's in there, it may be considered what I call play clothes, but I don't keep things that like have holes and stuff like that in them. So I'm just saying, if we haven't worn them and we don't need them, I might as well fold them up, put them in a bag to go to Goodwill or to the yellow box, or I always call it the yellow box. I don't even know who it belongs to. It's not Goodwill. It's one of the other, you know, like you can pull up in the store parking lots and there'll be that box over there that you have to pull the lid down and put stuff in. I don't know. I'm assuming they're all over the world, not just Texas or Porter. But the one we usually use is in Porter, or I take it straight to Goodwill. The only thing about Goodwill that I get a little upset with is when you go into Goodwill, and I do a lot of Goodwill looking at things, and sometimes I find really cute things like blouses. I'm not a resale shop clothes, but sometimes when you're in there milling around looking at stuff, you end up seeing a little blouse that catches your eye or something. If it's your size, sometimes I've grabbed a couple of things. I'm not ashamed to say that. But what I hate is sometimes their prices on a used shirt that came from like in boys stuff and stuff, you know, be $4.99 for sure. Well, I can get a brand new shirt at Walmart for $4.99. So sometimes I think they sort of price their stuff too high for a resale shop. But that's my opinion. It's probably Mom's opinion too, because I think we've even talked about that before. Ladybug, I just wanted to sit here. Oh, that's a pretty, whatever that was. Anyway, what else was I gonna say? Let me get that off my face. What else was I gonna say? Oh. Anyway, so I do want to go through that room and clean things out. But it is just, I haven't gone in there to do it yet. Now I'm waiting for Tony to be here in a few minutes. In about 30 minutes, actually. Anyway, I fed the cats here this morning on this deck underneath where I'm at right now, where I sit where the swing is. Because that part of the deck over there, I never thought about that before, but that part of the deck over there doesn't have a roof. So when the water comes off this roof and goes down and hits that roof, sometimes it doesn't always come back, but you get a lot of blow in from out there where it just gets wet, and you know how water just sort of, it seeps into other things. So sometimes the water is way back under here, even though this has a roof on it, there's water back off of here. And the truth is, before I ever had a deck there, that didn't happen. That's only because I have a deck. And I hate to think that I have to put another roof over that to keep water, because I want to extend this deck and I don't want a roof over everything. Although a roof over everything would be really nice. I don't think I could afford it. And if I did do that, I'd have to cut some of these lower limbs off this pecan tree. I mean, I already plan on the new section of deck when I do start it to go around that. It'll be that pecan tree will be in the middle of it, and I thought a cute bench around it, or like I have right now, just on the other side of it, I have that table and 2 chairs. Might be sort of nice to have the whole thing roofed once I get that section built, then have somebody come in and do a whole roof on all. That means this whole deck would be covered, like a covered deck. That would be nice, although there would be no more sun under here at all. Yeah, I don't know about that. I can't think about that right now. Anyway, I got too much to do in my house. I still have to work on that laundry room floor. I still have to get the washer and dryer moved to the new room. I believe, dear me Moses, I believe I have a leak under my house. I don't know if it's dry. I don't think it's fresh water. It's not septic water. I think it's maybe from, it might be fresh water. It may be coming from one of the lines underneath there. I know that about 3 or 4 years ago, I had a leak, and I called really, really good people. If any of my followers that follow my page, if you live anywhere in this part of Texas, there is a plumbing company called oh my gosh. Hey! All of a sudden, I want to say it's called Be Dependable Plumbing. Be Dependable Plumbing. I love them. I think they're out of the Tarkington area. And if I'm not mistaken, just a few years ago, there was a shooting there, and one of their employees was killed, actually. It's really sad. Be Dependable. Yeah, he came out. Really good little guy. I can't remember his name, but a memory pops up every now and then. I'm like, because I thanked him in a memory, and I said his first name, but you don't know their last names. But he came out, went under, and it wasn't translated to him that I have a mobile home. So, and anytime I have work done, I have to tell them it's a mobile home, because mobile homes are just different. The wiring is different, the plumbing is different. So it just wasn't translated to him that it was a mobile home. And when he got out here, he went under and he found the little leak, and he said it was a small leak. He said, but he didn't have the parts for it because it was mobile home plumbing pipe. And he said he would have to get with his boss to see what kind of, because he said he's never had to work on it. Anyway, it's what they call the shark bites, and it's the type of fittings and stuff that have these little teeth, and once you put it in, these little teeth grab and won't let it come back out. And so he came out the next day and went under there and did it all. But he told me then, he said he didn't know how old my house was. He said, but from the looks of it, it looks like it's pretty old. And I said, well, it's from the 70s. And he said, I really need a repipe. And I said, okay, well, I'll have to think about that. And, that'll have to be something that I'll do in the future. And so I probably really need to do that one day. But regardless, this leak, whatever is leaking, is not causing my well to come on. But I pretty much, I know I have a leak because it was last week. We had no rain. It was dry, and there was a little bit of puddling out over here to the side of the house. And so I looked under, and I could just see this little drip. And I couldn't tell what it's coming from, because underneath my house, as awesome as it is of the way that they do the underneath with the insulation and the plastic, I also have chicken wire. So whenever they go under there, if I do have a repipe done, they have a lot of work to do just to get to all the plumbing, because they have to cut all that chicken wire out. I guess it's under there. I mean, I can see why you would do it. Not only are you keeping things from digging through the insulation and trying to live up in there, but they can't dig through the chicken wire. So, but I have chicken wire under there. So I'll have to have that looked at probably in the next couple of weeks. I'll have them. I have to wait for a payday, but that needs to be done. But there's so much that needs to be done that I can sit down right here and I'm talking to y'all like you're here with me visiting, and I'm just thinking I gotta finish that, and I gotta finish this, and I gotta finish this, and sometimes it gets very overwhelming, and I have to tell myself, stop it, concentrate on one. It's okay to know, even write it down or constantly think about it. You don't want to have to think about it to the point that you're worried about it, but it's okay to say, I've got this and this and this and this and this I need to get done, and my first thing needs to be this is the most important. Like when I was working on my chicken yard, I was thinking I really need to hurry up and get it wrapped to keep the chickens out of Steph and Buddy's chicken garden. But now that I've clipped their wings, wrapping the top and throwing the net up is not as important, except for the of keeping like overhead predators out, or even ground predators like possums and stuff from climbing up what, you know, the fence is 4 foot tall, so climbing up and then dropping in where they're at. So I do still need to get that done, but my main concern was keeping them out of Buddy and Steph's garden, and they're not in the garden. In fact, to a degree, they really weren't bothering too much Buddy and Steph's garden anyway. Maybe it's because at the time she didn't, I mean, she's just now getting her, I mean, what, the past couple of weeks she's been getting vegetables. They've been locked up for just barely a week. And the few times that I'd see my chickens over there in that field, they weren't really messing with anything in her garden. They were just out in the field part, the grassy area still. So, Rohan, hi love. Oh, you're wet. You're wet. Anyway, I just thought I'd shoot the breeze with y'all a little bit since it's so rainy and nasty. And I was going to take y'all out and let's look at the water, but it slowed down a little. There's actually a little bit of coolness. That may just be the rain cooled air. It's got a little bit of chilly to the... Can't see you. Do you know that you're interrupting my video? There he goes. Hi, honey. Anyway, I wanted y'all to see the water and walk with me and see what was going on out there, but it's still raining. I don't want to walk out there in the rain. But it's let off enough now that all the chickens are back out again. Anyway, I don't know, was I going to talk about anything and then got sidetracked, because you know I'm a sidetrack. I get sidetracked pretty easy. He made me mad, this one right here. All of a sudden, he started, I don't want to say all of a sudden he started doing this, because he's sort of always done it, but never to what he did yesterday. And I thought, and I couldn't, I think my step ladder is in the, no, it's not here, it's in my shop, and it was raining, so I couldn't come out and get it. But there's been times, I know I've told y'all about that one little kitten, what I call baby girl, or little girl, and she won't use the cat box unless I lock her in there. Then she'll use it when she's in there, but if she just has free roam of the house, she won't go back in there to use it. There were some nights that they were both in the house. I don't remember if it was raining, not recently, this has been, but I'm just saying, there were some nights maybe that it was raining or something. For some reason, he's always in the house, but she was in, and I needed to lock her in that laundry room, or either put her out. And so to lock her in meant I had to lock him in too, because he can't be locked out from where the cat box is. And so every morning that would happen, it doesn't matter when it happens, anytime I had to lock both of them up just to make sure they were both available to get to the cat box. The cat box was available to them. I'd have to, when I'd open the door in the morning, she would come running out, but he would, at first, I wouldn't be able to find him. And in fact, I was telling Mom about how I got down and thought he had crawled up in this little cubby that went up behind the water heater. And I said I had my phone with the camera, with the light shining, and then all of a sudden I heard a noise, and I stood up and walked back around, and that was in what is going to be the laundry room. That's where I was at. That's where that little access panel door is to the hot water heater. And that's why I was down there looking to see if he was in there. And then I heard a noise, sounded like a thump. So I stood up and walked back and looked in the door to the laundry room, and there he was on top of the washer. And there were several things knocked down that I didn't even notice when I walked in the room on the washer that are on that high shelf. So the shelf that's in the laundry room above the washer and dryer, he had knocked things down, and that's where he was laying. So now when I open the door, if I have to lock him in for some reason, like she's in the house and I'm ready to go to bed, I don't want to put her out for whatever reason, that I have to lock them both up in there, that's where he's at. He's up on that shelf. So, okay, no big deal, right? And then remember the other day when I talked about Levi with the hat, and I thought, because I always keep it on that high shelf by the front door, and I thought Rohan had jumped in there because I'm used to him now jumping up on things. He hasn't always done that. It's getting to be this weird thing that he's doing where he's always getting up on high things. I have on my pantry, the pantry that came with the house, which is right there by the end of the bar, okay? Y'all see it's the white door, and I have the metal signs and stuff on it, okay? The little hook that says kitchen, okay. Up there up high, it doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. It's got a, and I use it up there as like a little shelf. I have some birdhouses up there and some pots, some like empty vases, but they're not glass, and some birdhouses and a couple of ivies, fake ivies, just to dress up that dead space above it. All of a sudden I heard something fell. I knew it didn't sound like it was very big, but it fell, and I was thinking something off the bar. And so I got up and walked in there, and it was, recently I was gifted those little chicken butts, those little magnets, and they're stuck on one of those metal signs. One of them was on the floor, and so I picked it up and I'm looking, I stick it back to the metal sign. I'm like, what would knock that down? And they're really, really strong magnets. And then all of a sudden I look, and I'm just looking at that, and then what catches my eye is two of the birdhouses are pushed almost to the edge, hanging over the edge a little bit of the pantry. And I'm like, what the heck? And so I reach up and I'm pushing them back where they go, and then his head pops up and looks at me, and he's up there. That was so he's going to the bar, and from the bar he's jumping up on top of and I'm surprised he hasn't knocked everything down off there. So I thought about hot gluing everything down so it wouldn't move so easily if he messes with things. But then I'm thinking, I dust up there once a year. I get up there, I pull the ivy down, I put it in the sink, I shake it out, then I rinse it all off. I take the birdhouses, dust them all off, take the vases, dust them all off, dust the top of the pantry itself. Usually it's very dusty. And then I put everything back. And I don't do it again for another year. But if it's all hot glued down, I don't know how I'm going to dust it all when a year goes by. So I'd rather him just not get up there, but I don't know how to make him stop. I don't think you can once cats start jumping and loving to sit up, that's sort of a natural thing for them to be up high. Just like him now. I mean, I love him. I love him a whole lot. I love you too, Jensen. I love you too. I love you too. I haven't been able to put Minky out there the last few days with this rain. I've just been leaving her right here close to the house during the day. Anyway, that's, I did say that earlier though. It was raining so bad, and my back steps, the side steps that go out to my carport, you know, that's where I feed the cats. I think I've showed y'all that in a few of the videos. I have 4 or 5 bowls out there that I put food in, and then I just sort of shake a bowl out, a cup, the cup that I use, shake it out, and it just sort of falls on the steps and then down. And that just gives everybody the opportunity to eat from anywhere they want. They can sort of spread out. I don't have enough bowls to put all, don't send me bowls. I'm just saying, the cats, to a degree, are sort of like the goats. If one's eating in a bowl, then the other one comes to fight him at the bowl. So, you know, 4 or 5 bowls is fine. I put a little bit in each bowl, and then I just sort of let the other fall where it wants down there, and they're just eating it down there. It all stays on the steps or the bricks. And, there goes Lester leaving now. It looks like he's got a roll of hay. Poor Lester, and it's gonna be wet. Oh yeah, I think it's a roll of hay. Anyway, so this morning, because the roof doesn't go all the way out, the roof goes over the roof of the back porch. This back, the inside in here, the roof of it goes all the way, you know, to the end of the porch. And then where the steps go down, I think I know the top step is under the roof, but I think maybe the second step is too. I can't remember. But the rest of all the steps, the other 3 steps to the ground, or to the bricks, all that's in weather. And I'm like, well, I can't dump their food on the steps and get it wet. And it's starting to come down heavy again. So this morning I brought it here on the rug right here, and I just sort of made a line of food where they all just come up and eat. Jensen's running out and drinking from the water coming off the roof, and then running back, then running and getting a little bit and running back, like he don't want to get wet, but he wants to take a drink. And because it got heavy, the rain started coming heavy again, the chickens all went back in the chicken coop. Too funny. All right, well, I done rambled on for 30 minutes, so I'm gonna let y'all go. You guys, I don't know how the weather is for everybody. I don't know if there's storms. I don't know if there's hurricanes. I don't know if there's, not hurricanes, tornadoes. I don't know if you've got snow still. Got some of you guys, I don't know where everybody's at. I'm just telling you that if you're here, you know what we're getting with all this rain. I know that we're seeing a lot of warnings of like flash floods in your low areas. I don't think we're anywhere near any kind of flooding at the river yet. I haven't asked Daniel or Dad. I don't know if it's coming up back there yet or not. Might not be. It takes a lot to bring the river out of banks, and it takes a lot more to bring it up to where anybody's got to worry about it on the hill. Granted, I don't have to worry about it down here, but I do worry about my family up there, and I don't think we're at that place right now to worry about that. So, but if you guys are in those places where you're having to deal with it, I'm praying for y'all, and y'all just be safe if you're in any of those places. If you're in anywhere where there's recently I have a friend that was near where some fires were at in Canada. So y'all just keep those people in your prayers, the ones that lost houses, and what are you barking at? Oh, Rosa. The ones that have lost homes and came back to nothing. You just keep all those people in your prayers. All right, love you guys. God bless y'all. Stay dry, stay warm. If you're too warm, stay cool.